Okay, then I will start. So, hi everybody. My name is Bertrand Marquis and I am a principal software engineer at ARM in the open source software group. Robin just mentioned it. And I am a part of the SCM team focusing on safety and autonomous system. Today I will present you the current work of ARM on Zen and some research we are doing on safety and embedded systems. During my present today, I will go over different aspects of what ARM is doing around Xen. I will briefly start with what we have done with Yocto. Then I will present you our work to add PCI devices pass-through support on ARM. And I will give you some other small contributions that we plan to do this year and in the future. In the second part, I will present you the safety island concept on which ARM will do some research. So first, Yocto. So this year, ARM created a group of Yocto layers named MetaARM. It's a placeholder to provide more support in Yocto ARM architecture and ARM software. MetaARM contains several Yocto layers, which are not all Xen related. So MetaARM sublayer has recipes for standard ARM software to be used by other board vendors. This is, for example, Trusted Firmware or SCP. MetaARM BSP provides Yocto BSPs for ARM reference platform like Juno or N1SDP or models like FVB. MetaARM toolchain contains recipes for ARM compiler like GCC or Clang. You can access those layers on the MetaARM Git repository of Yocto projects. So inside MetaARM, we created a layer named MetaARM Autonomy. It is focusing on autonomy and embedded systems using them. It actually extends Meta virtualization layer, which provides Xen support in Yocto. MetaARM Autonomy can be used to build all components of a Xen-based system. Host projects are used to build on Zero. They generate the Xen hypervisor, but also a kernel with a Xen backend driver, and a file system with the required tools for .0, means XL tool, QEMU, etc. The host projects are also generating a modified device tree containing the entries required to start Xen and .0 on ARM by adding the required entries in the board DTB produced by Yocto. This device tree allows to easily boot Xen and .0 on U-boot-based boards. Guest projects are used to build DOM-use or DOM-Ds. We created a specific BSP named Autonomy Guest, which actually produced a minimal kernel containing only the Xen frontend driver and no hardware support. The idea here is actually to create generic guests, which are small and independent of the hardware, so that they can be reused easily on different systems. MetaARM Autonomy is usable with other Yocto layers, so that you can use BSP coming from another layer, but also so that you can use all the workloads that could be available through Yocto layers. For example, Wayland or Automotive Grade Linux, AGL. The layer has been designed to allow fast prototyping to do research easily with Xen and Yocto. It is the base we use to create what you might have heard before, to create the reference stack or the autonomy stack. We use MetaARM Autonomy to build or help others to build and prototype Xen-based system in the automotive market or more globally for embedded applications. MetaARM Autonomy is introducing a system we named Xen Guest. It's actually a simple script-based system to create and manage Xen Guest. It's introducing a file format to include all components of a Xen Guest in a single image. This is the kernel, the device tree, but also the Xen configuration and everything to build a disk. It also has some init script. So this file is actually used by something named the manager on DOM0 to create or update Xen Guest. The disk can be created by the manager using LVM so that we are completely independent of the hardware. The disk definition actually just contains the disk size and partition, but also what content should be extracted on those partitions when we create the disk. The init script in the image can be used to do some custom actions when starting the guest. That's, for example, Xenstore Excel operation. The system has been integrated inside Yocto so that a Xen guest image can be directly generated as an outcome of a Yocto project. We released the first version of MetaArm Autonomy with Yocto Dunfell around 2 months ago, I think. And we will continue to enhance this layer by adding more functionalities. So this is the base of what Robin named the reference stack that he presented before. Let's talk now a little bit about PCI. So the goal here is to be able to pass through one or several PCI devices to a guest, but not the complete PCI bus. This feature is actually already available in Xen on x86, but is not available on ARM. We would like to do this, but with several constraints. First, using the same tools and configuration systems on x86. This means using exec tool or directly as a guest configuration file to pass through a PCI device from DOM0. Second constraint is to support DOM0-less. This means having a way in the device tree to declare a PCI device pass-through, but also not to depend on DOM0. As a consequence, we cannot use a backend front-end driver inside Linux. We also want to have as much as possible command con with x86 in Xen hypervisor, but also in the tools. This is kind of a must to ease the maintenance and also for the user to have a better experience if it's working the same way on x86 and ARM. Finally, we will support eCAM PCI, as this is a type of PCI mostly present on the current ARM hardware or the incoming ones. There is no plan right now to have legacy PCI support. So how do we design this? We will use the vPCI design from x86. So the vPCI is creating a virtual PCI bus accessed by the guest using I/O emulation. The guest will actually see a full PCI bus and interact with it using its standard PCI driver. On the vPCI bus, it will only see the devices which are passed through. On the schema here, the device 3 was assigned. The others are not, so they are not visible on the guest PCI bus. Only DOM0 and Xen will have access to the real PCI bus. The guest will only get a direct access to the assigned PCI devices, I/O MEMS, and interrupts. To comply with the current Xen design on ARM, we will define a guest physical address for the vPCI bus, but also for the PCI I/O MEM address space of the vPCI bus. As a consequence, the I/O MEMS will be remapped at a different address than the physical one. And this will be reflected in the emulated bar values of the vPCI bus. Interrupts corresponding to assigned device will be redirected to the guest. What is our current status? Well, luckily we did not start from nothing. Julien Graal already worked on the subject, did some research and implementation, and we started from there. We are currently developing on a Juno board, and we plan in the next months to test our implementation on other targets. Currently, we have the vPCI part working, which means the guest is seeing a PCI bus with only the devices assigned to him. The guest has also a proper access to the device I/O MEM, and the PCI driver in the guest is properly detecting the device and accessing the I/O MEM. We currently have a working setup with an Ethernet PCI card that is fully functional on the guest. This is actually quite fresh because we made that work only last week. And we will now work on cleaning our first implementation, and we plan to push a review for comment for a first discussion with the community this summer. So what is remaining? The first point is interrupt only. Our current tests are done with MSI completely disabled. This will require some work on the JIG supporting Xen. The second part will be the IOMMU. Our setup using Juno is actually quite minimalistic because on the Juno board, the whole PCI bus has only one SMMU ID. So we are working on a reduced setup, I would say. So we will need to work on SMMU v2 and v3 support on another hardware. Finally, we will need to work on the enumeration of the PCI bus. So PCI enumeration consists of two main things. That's detecting the devices present on the bus. That's also assigning addresses to the IO MEMS and values to the interrupt. Currently, we are relying on DOM0 to enumerate the PCI bus and to declare the devices present to Xen. This setup cannot be used on a DOM0 system as there would be no DOM0. And the PCI bus enumeration can actually be complex. So on the PCI bus, each IOMEM segment must have an address which is aligned to its size. And if you do a simple enumeration, that could lead to a lot of unused space in the IOMEM space. And usually this space is actually quite limited. Also, if you look at the PCI drivers inside Linux or inside other OS, lots of the PCI fixes and quirks and hooks are related to enumeration. So in sum up, it would be actually quite complex to introduce a full PCI enumeration in Xen because it would add some complex piece of code. That's not something we think would be a good idea. So how can we actually solve this? So we see two solutions. So the first one is to say that Xen will not do a full enumeration, but will actually only detect devices. In this scenario, we would rely on someone else having done the full enumeration before. That could be U-boot, EDK2, or any other firmware on the board. This is actually quite a realistic way to see things because most of the firmwares have PCI support. The second solution, which is more safety related, would actually be to enumerate, but based on configuration to remove the complex code. In this scenario, the DTB would contain the PCI devices and the values to assign to the bar. And Xen would just apply those values directly on the PCI bus. We actually think that both solutions should be supported. If you want to discuss the subject, the PCI subject, I created a design session for tomorrow. So feel free to join to discuss those questions. So what are the other small contributions, or maybe not small, but other contributions that we plan to work on this year? So first one is one-to-one mapping. This is some work which has already been started by Stefano. And the point here is to be able for guests to use the real physical addresses. This is not turning off the MMU, but in fact to use it only for protections. There are several use cases for this. So the first one is to use pass-through devices inside guest without using an IO MMU. This is when, for example, you don't have an IO MMU, but also for the cases where you actually have one, but you don't want to use it for latencies questions, for example. This is a valid use case as long as you trust the guest, which has access to a device with DMA capabilities. You can think, for example, as running an AutoSAR as a DOM-D in automotive. AutoSAR would be trusted, so it would be acceptable to have it using a DMA-capable device without using an IOMM. A second contribution, which stays actually in the same area, is static mapping. This work has also been already started by Stefan. The idea here is to be able to specify which physical address of RAM will be allocated for the memory of the guest. There are also several use cases here. In safety applications, this is usually mandatory to have a full static definition of the system. The reason being that you want to be independent of the order in which guests are started and not be impacted by a guest being added to your system. The second use case is actually to be in control of the type of RAM used by each guest. Some processors have internal RAMs, and you might want to assign a specific guest to it. You could also have some cases where you have different type of memory, different latencies, etc., and you might want to restrict one guest to one memory or one memory area. Finally, we will work more globally to a new platform support to Xen and participate more and more to Xen development. Let's now talk of the safety island concept. So this slide shows the standard Xen-based system. So you have a DOM0, which is usually Linux-based. You have some DOM-Ds, which are guests having direct access to some hardware near a block device, and DOM-Us, which are guests only having access to Xen devices. Here we are trying to use Xen on a safety system. So I added a guest with some safety constraints that I named DOM-S. For DOM-S to be safe, several components would need to reach the same level of safety than DOM-S. First, of course, is Xen, as Xen has more capacities than DOM-S and can fully control it. DOM-S cannot be safe if Xen is not safe. There is also DOM0, as it can control the system entirely, and as a consequence, the DOM-S itself. From the safety point of view, DOM0, Xen, and DOM-S need to be safe for DOM-S to be considered safe. This is what I represented here with the safety domain in blue. In this system, we have all advantages of a standard Xen-based system with lots of flexibility. We can add or remove guests, we can control them or modify them. But DOM0 is usually Linux-based, or at least is based on a rich OS. As a consequence, to reach a high level of safety, we would have to certify it in some way. But this can be very either complex or very expensive. Linux is 27 million lines of code, and depending on the level of safety, we usually consider that it takes between 2 to 8 hours to certify one line of code. If you want to compute the value, that's actually quite huge. So how could we solve this? The first solution coming to mind is DOM0less. So DOM0less is removing DOM0 and relying on a full static configuration stored on the device tree where all guests and their rights are defined. So DOMD and DOMU still have the same characteristics than the system before. The safety domain now only contains Xen and our DOM-S. So from the safety point of view, the configuration is defining the system and has to be safe, and only Xen and DOM-S have to reach a safety level. The downside of this is now the system is fully static. You have the configuration fully defined in the DTB, and you cannot monitor or control your guest anymore. In a DOM0-less system, if you stop a guest, he dies. There is no way to restart it because nobody has the power to restart it. How can we solve this? The idea of the safety island here is to deport the control and monitoring capacities to a different system not running on top of Xen. The safety island can create guests and control them, but can also control Xen itself. In the system, the domains are the same. The safety island is included in the safety domain and must reach at least the same level of safety than Xen and DOM-S. In this system, we add, compared to DOM0less, some flexibility and monitoring capacities. We still have a bit less capacities than DOM0 for things like exporting file system or changing parts like the kernel binaries, for example, even though those could still be possible to do in a safety island. But we can now start or stop guests, check their status, or even monitor Xen status. We can control the guest, which actually fits some safety use cases, and perhaps fits also more use cases like security cases, where you would want to monitor the system from something being very secure. How would such a system be designed? So there would be two components to actually start working on something like this. So the first one would be a driver in Xen. This driver would handle the communication with the safety island. The driver will actually probably be hardware or even application specific depending on where the safety island actually is and how it communicates with Xen. The driver would act as a gateway with a subset of Xen interfaces usually accessed by DOM0 through hypercalls. Those would be the ones required to create or destroy guests and some of the interfaces to manage and monitor them. On the other side, the safety island will communicate with this driver. The safety island itself could be on RTOS or a standalone application and could actually be hosted on lots of different places. First one would be on a different core, not running Xen, on a different processor. Like, for example, if you take a Xilinx UltraScale board, you have a Cortex-M. Might be a good place to put the safety island, as the Cortex-M can communicate with a Cortex-A. But in general, it could also be on a completely different system, accessible through networks or any other means, so that you don't have a too big driver inside them. It could, in some cases, even be directly inside Xen for some specific use case, where the driver would actually host the intelligence of the safety island and only react on interacts. ARM will start some research on the concept. So the goal is first to define the subset of interfaces required and check how those would be used. We will then investigate on the possible limitation. First coming to mind is how to set up communication. There was something introduced by Christopher yesterday on with Domby on the problematic with the Xen store, which will be something definitely present with the safety island concept. Our goal is to create a proof of concept and discuss it with the Xen community. The Domby presentation yesterday was definitely also something very interesting because I think we have lots of synergies, and that's definitely something with which I will share with Christopher. So let's conclude. So this year, ARM will contribute more and more to Xen. This will be through Yocto enablement of Xen and our work on PCI devices pass-through support on ARM that we will contribute to Xen. But also more globally by contributing and participating more and more to the Xen project, as Robin already mentioned. We will also start some research project targeting the enablement of Xen in embedded and safety use cases. The safety island is one example of this. We also started to participate to the Xen Foods project, which is looking at Xen safety certification. Thank you all for your attention, and if you have any questions, feel free to either unmute or use the chat to ask questions.
So Bertrand, was that XenGuest MIC image, is that publicly available anywhere?
Yep. The XenGuest and everything in MetaArm Autonomy has been published in the layer. So it's okay. It's a bunch of scripts which are available in MetaArm Autonomy. You're welcome, Francesco. I see lots of people typing, but feel free to speak. So what is the difference between a safety island and having a DOM0 that is safe? So having a DOM0 that is safe will still mean that DOM0 is running on top of Xen. If you want to build a chain of safety, it's good to have something which is completely outside of Xen and actually outside of the Cortex-A, so that you have the safety island controlling Xen and Xen then controlling the guest. There is a use case for implementing a DOM0 using an RTOS, of course, but that's a different view on what would be the safety of your system. Definitely running the safety island as a DOM0 would be a solution, I agree. Does that answer your question, Corey?
Yes, it does. It would be possible to keep the interfaces the same, so you could have. Is that the goal?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the goal. That's why I always spoke of creating a subset. So the driver will never be generic because it will be specific applications. The goal is to have an interface for this driver inside Xen, which is generic. Definitely, this will be using a subset of the hypercalls already available. We don't want to change anything inside Xen as much as possible. That means you could reuse exactly the same, only behaving as a guest on top of Xen.
Yeah? Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So Daniel is asking if I'm familiar with University of Maryland Research Copilot. I must say no, I'm not. To Christopher, XSM and Flask to define the subset of hypercalls. Definitely yes, because it's in any safety there is security, and it makes sense to use what is available. One difference might be that there will be a driver inside Xen. That's definitely in the list of subjects that we will need to look at when we will start to investigate on this subject. So Damien is asking, wouldn't a network stack implemented at the Xen level Definitely, yes. That's why. So the network was just an extreme example because we don't want to create a subset which is limited to any kind of use case. If someone wants to put a network stack inside the Xen driver, why not? It's its problem, but definitely it should not be in the standard Xen. What should be in the standard Xen is a way to access to this subset of interfaces inside the Xen driver. It's application specific to put a network stack. I definitely not think this is a valid use case. That will probably be something more core-to-core communication based, or using a shared memory with a distant core and some interrupts, something very limited in capacities. Does that answer your question, Damien? Okay, I will look at Copilot. Thank you, Daniel. So Artem, we actually run safety compliant RTOS as a DOM0, options for safety and lockstep score adjusting Xen for validating various accesses. Yeah, it's, as I said, it's running on RTOS as DOM0 is definitely a use case. Here, the idea is, for example, if you have a lockstep core, it might make sense to monitor what this lockstep score is doing from outside the core. Otherwise, fixing your problems from the problematic bit is kind of not safe. So here, the idea would definitely be to monitor from outside so that problematic like lockstep or memory issues or etc. could be monitored by an external core. Christopher. So doing the PCI enumeration from it's actually doing the PCI enumeration from a DOM-B is a valid application for PCI devices pass-through on ARM generically. I don't think that we will keep the DOM0 solution. Definitely, we will not remove this from the PCI code, but we also want to have a solution so that you don't rely on anything to boot before your guest. So it's we need a combination of both. But yeah, we will have a design session on PCI tomorrow. I think it will make sense to have more chat on those kind of subjects tomorrow. Yes, we will catch up tomorrow, Artem. Definitely, I will see you, Christopher. Okay. Any other question? Okay, thank you, George. You're welcome. 10 times. Thanks, Artem.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, then. Well, feel free to come to the PCI design session if you want to speak more of the subject. It's 45 minutes, so we would have time to speak of the safety island if you want, or Yocto, for example. Thank you, Corey.
I'm going to be running the session scheduler in a few minutes here, so if you're interested in either of those sessions, then express your interest now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone.